Defining your need-to-know information for your training session is absolutely essential to have an effective training session, an effective outcome. Understanding that key information is so important because the more nice-to-know, sideline, sort of minutia, off over there type information you share, the more you dilute your message. Adult learners do not want to learn just for the sheer joy of learning. So you've only got their attention for a short period of time. Why not utilize that attention span to really achieve a successful outcome from your session? Why not take that limited capacity that you have and really drive home those key elements, those key points? In today's video, we're going to take a look at some different ways to ensure that you're talking about need-to-know information and you're not straying over towards nice-to-know. One good checkbox to tick: does the information you're about to share drive towards a successful outcome for your session? At the beginning of your session, if you've defined out this is success, this is what it looks like, this is how I'm going to measure it, does the information drive towards that success in a major, impactful, critical sort of way? Yes, no, or maybe. The more you say, well, maybe, that's probably nice to know information. When you say, yes, absolutely, this is a piece of information they must know to be successful, have a successful outcome, now you're trending more towards need to know. So take a look at what is a successful outcome for your training session. If the information you're discussing and sharing supports that, you've got a really good likelihood you're looking at need-to-know information. Another signpost for success for defining need-to-know information is the information you're about to share critical, is an essential element, is an absolute bedrock foundation of job role success for that individual. Without this information, there's no way they can be successful in their job role. That's the definition of need-to-know information. When you're looking at job role, sure, there's lots of other nice pieces of information that can be accrued and absorbed and perhaps added to learning libraries. Perhaps, okay, if they know this, that's great for the one time every 10 years that they need to know it. But that day in, day out, hour by hour piece of information, focus on that. Build your training program, design it around that information so that leads to job role success for your participant. Think about the context of the material that you're going to share. Does the material you're about to share add a greater understanding of context of the organization, the job role, or that participant's career development? If the answer is yes, very likely that's some need-to-know information. If the answer is maybe, yeah, sorta, kinda, then it's very likely to be nice-to-know information. Give your participants a bigger understanding of the world around them. Especially during new hire onboard training, it's very likely that your participants are sort of grasping, trying to claw their way towards putting a lot of different information together in a overarching context. If the information you're providing in your training session allows them to fill in the blanks of some of that context, it's probably need-to-know information and you should include it in your training session. How does the information you're about to share affect how your participants interact with others inside or outside the organization? If removing that information degrades the success of those participants effectively interacting with others either internally or externally, very likely good chance that that is some critical need-to-know information. If the piece of information you're about to share, if they don't know it, not that big a deal, or it'd be okay if they knew it, probably would help once every 7 years when they need it, okay, now you're more in that nice to know bucket. Need to know information. The more you build your training programs around those critical data points, those critical pieces of information, the more effective your sessions will be. That also keeps your sessions interesting, because we all know we hate boring training, right? But most importantly, to drive towards a successful outcome, you have to use the limited attention span, the limited interest in learning, the noise you're trying to burn through in the participants' sort of daily lives. You've only got so much time, so much capacity. Utilize it effectively by drilling home and building towards mastery of those need-to-know topics.